I'm on page 15 in your packets, 1G, problem of the day. I am going to do this page with you because it's a little different than the other problem of the day pages because it says write an algebraic equation that can be used to get the answer in one step. Again, one step. So we're doing method 2, where we're either adding or subtracting that percent, depending on what kind of problem it is, to the 100%. So it says find the discount D or the sales tax S. So the cost of an item is C, the discount is 30%. So to find the discount, you can see here's the equation. D equals 3/10. Remember, we're going to change our percent to a decimal times the cost of the item C. Or D equals 3/10 the fraction times C. So there's the equation. D equals, equal sign, right? With an equation, we have to have an equal sign. Example 2, the cost of a TV is C. Its sales tax is 8%. So finding the sales tax, they called it S for sales tax. 8% changed to a decimal is 800ths. So S equals 800ths times C, the cost of the TV, or S equals 8 over 100, C. So I have to find the discount, which is 5%. On the original price of a CD, I'm going to call it C, like they did above, and I'm going to say D for discount. So changing my percent to a decimal, that's 500ths. So the discount is equal, equation here, times 5 is equal to 500ths times the cost of the CD, right? So I can put that in parentheses, or I can just put the C after the 500ths. Or, as you saw above, I can use 500ths times C. So D equals, we're writing an equation. The cost of an oil change, we'll call it C, and the markup of 70%. So I'm going to call a markup M, so that markup is 70/100ths or 7/10ths times the cost of the item. So M equals 7/10ths C or 70/100ths C. Find the cost, now find the total cost. That's different. Here's where I'm adding or subtracting from the 100. And when it's a discount, I'm going to subtract 100% minus 30% would give me 70%. So my total cost, T, as you can see here, equals 7/10ths, changing my percent to a decimal, times the cost. So T equals 7/10ths of C, or the fraction 7/10ths. Tax is added, so 100% plus my 8% equals 108%. And when I change that to a decimal, that's 1 800ths. So the total cost equals 1 800ths times the cost of the item, or the total cost equals 108 over 100 times the cost of the item. So the cost of a CD with a markup of 30%. So 100 plus that 30% gives me 130%. So my total cost T would equal 1 3/10ths times the cost of my CD, C. The original price of a concert ticket, which we'll call C, with a discount of 21%. So 100 minus that 21% gives me 79%. So I'm going to find the total is equal to 79/100ths times my C. There's my equation. I'm writing equations today, not expressions. The cost of a puppy is marked up by 41%, so 100 plus that 41% would give me 141% for the markup, and a discount of 23% Well, that's kind of silly. Oh, maybe they marked it up and the puppy was there for a week or so and then they were getting nervous, so then they discounted it by 23%. Could happen in the real world because they wanted him to sell, so that would give me a 23% discount. So first, the cost of the puppy. So the total would equal the 1 41/100ths times the 77 for the discount hundredths times the cost of the puppy. Could I put that in a different order? Yes, I could do 1 41/100ths times the C times the 77/100ths, right? It's commutative. But either way, I'm marking up the puppy by 41% and then discounting the puppy by 23%. That's the equations. We're writing equations on this page. Next page. This is the problem that I'm going to have you do on your own. I'm going to leave number 1 for you to do. Number 2. At a flower shop, 4 flowers cost $10. Mrs. Watson usually buys 12 flowers. During a sale, there is a 20% discount on every flower. How many flowers can Mrs. Watson buy during a sale if she spends the same amount of money that she usually spends, that she usually does? Well, 4 flowers, I'm going to make a table here. Flowers and cost. So if she gets 4 flowers, it would cost her $10. But she usually buys 12. So 8 flowers must cost $20. And 12 flowers, that's what she usually buys, must usually cost her $30. So I needed to know what does she usually spend? She usually spends $30. During a sale, there is 20% off every flower. Well, I need to know what is the rate that she's currently buying flowers at. So I've got to find a rate. Well, I take my $10 and divide it by my 4 flowers, and I would get that she's spending currently $2.50 per flower. That's the rate. But it's now been discounted by 20%. If I take that 20% away from my 100, I know that she's going to pay 80% for each flower. So if I know normally she spends $2.50 per flower, what's 80% of that $2.50? Or 8/10 times that $2.50. Well, that is $2 a flower. So now she can buy flowers at $2 a piece. Well, she needs to spend her usual amount of $30. So her $30 that she normally spends divided by that $2 would mean that she can get 15 flowers, right? Instead of her normal 12 flowers. How many flowers can she buy? Oh, okay, Mrs. Watson. So I'm going to sable this. Can buy 15 flowers for her $30. She used to get 12, now they're on a discount. Now she can get 15 of them for that same amount of money, $30. Number 6. A jacket with a regular price of $79.99 is on sale for 35% off. Estimate the sale price. Estimate the sale price of the jacket. Well, I'm going to say this is 80. That's my first estimate. 35% off. Well, I know 10% of 80. That's 8. So 3 times that 8 to get 30% would be $24. And 5% of that 80 would be 4, right? 5% of 80 would just be half of this 8. Well, that's $4. So 24 plus 4, that's $28. Do I want to, oh, no, I wanted to know I found the discount. So 80 take away 28, that's not telling me the price. 80 take away the discount of 28 would tell me the price is about $52. Which one's closest to that? A. Well, the other way I could have done this was to do, if it's 35% off, figure out what the 65% is, right? So again, I could do that 10, here's my estimation skills, 10% of 80 we did, that's 8. 6 times that 8 would give me 48, and I know 5% because I did it right here. 48 plus that $4, that 5%, that would also get me to $52. So I found the discount the first way. The second way I found what the price at 65%, approximately 65% of that of $80. So I estimated the 79 to get closest to $53. And that's it for today's video.